Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're soaring into the Asian aviation sector. We've gathered some insights from recent articles in Asian aviation.
Yeah, looking at some really interesting developments.
Exactly. We want to give you a focused look at some pivotal happenings. Specifically, we're unpacking, well, significant fleet upgrades, the expansion of some crucial cargo routes.
And a pretty substantial investment in business aviation, too.
Right. Think of it as your personalized briefing on the industry's current moves and maybe where it's heading.
Sounds good. So we basically got three main stories lined up from Asian aviation. First, there is this deal between Thai Airways International, THAI, and Airbus. They're planning a big retrofit for THAI's A350 fleet.
Okay.
Then we'll switch gears to cargo. Malaysia's Raya Airways has launched a new route connecting Penang and Hong Kong.
Interesting.
And finally, yeah, that big investment number, a $600 million equity injection into Vista, the business aviation company. So quite a mix, really gives you a snapshot of the activity over there.
Okay, let's get airborne with that THAI and Airbus deal first. So THAI is planning a major overhaul of their A350-900s.
Yep, their long-haul workhorse.
And they've signed a letter of intent, and LOI, with Airbus to get the ball rolling. For anyone maybe not familiar, that's like a preliminary agreement, right? Sets out the plan.
That's it. Basically signals intent.
What really jumps out is the focus. Boosting passenger comfort, big time, and also making the planes run more efficiently. State-of-the-art cabin upgrades, they're calling it.
Absolutely. It looks like they're really doubling down on the passenger experience for those long flights.
Makes sense?
Yeah, the A350 is like fundamental to their long-haul strategy. So investing here shows they want to keep it attractive. And it's not just a minor touch-up.
Right. What are they actually doing?
Well, the details mention modernized, elevated Royal Silk business class seats sounds fancy. Then, brand new premium economy seats.
Tapping into that growing market.
Exactly. And even upgrades for regular economy. Plus, a better in-flight entertainment system across the whole plane. The idea seems to be, a seamless quality experience no matter where you sit.
That sounds pretty comprehensive, a significant investment. But the timeline, it says the modernization starts in 2028. That feels quite far out.
It does seem a bit distant on the surface, yeah.
Could that, I don't know, hurt them competitively if others upgrade sooner?
That's a fair question.
Hmm.
But retrofitting a whole wide-body fleet like the A350, it's a massive job. You've got planning, certification, getting the parts, scheduling the downtime. So that lead time probably reflects that complexity.
Okay, logistics.
And crucially, they'll phase it in. The upgraded planes will re-enter service gradually, so they won't suddenly lose a huge chunk of their capacity. It's about minimizing disruption to their actual flight schedules.
That makes sense. You can't just ground half your long-haul fleet overnight. Belinda Zhang from Airbus, head of commercial services APAC, she mentioned this aligns with their shared vision of enhanced comfort and efficiency. Sounds very collaborative.
It really does. Her comment highlights that deep partnership. Airbus isn't just selling planes, they're in it for the long haul, supporting TAKI's fleet modernization. This LURI kind of reaffirms that commitment from Airbus, too.
Right. Supporting THAI's overall strategy.
Yeah, they clearly see THAI as a major player and want to help them succeed long term.
And the article really hammers home that the A350 is a key pillar for THAI's long-range network. So this retrofit, it's about future-proofing that core part of their business, making sure it appeals to everyone, premium and economy travelers alike.
Exactly. In today's market, especially long haul, that passenger experience is a huge differentiator. This sends a strong signal. It kind of makes you wonder, though, what other big carriers in Asia are planning, to keep up in the next few years.
Good point. Okay, let's taxi over to the cargo side now. Raya Airways in Malaysia, they've launched a new route, Penang to Hong Kong SAR. Sounds like a notable expansion.
It is, yeah. The first flight was actually back on October 28th last year, 2024, and it's running 5 times a week.
Okay, pretty frequent.
What's really key here is that this route plugs directly into DHL's big Asia-Pacific network. Raya is operating it under a charter agreement for DHL.
So it's not just Raya going alone, it's part of a bigger logistics play with DHL.
Exactly. It's a strategic move to boost DHL's capacity in a really vital trade corridor.
And Raya already does other work for DHL, right? This isn't totally new for them.
That's right. They already fly charters for DHL between Kuala Lumpur and Hong Kong, and also KL and Singapore. So this new Penang route just deepens that existing relationship.
Must be a strong partnership.
Seems like it. Raya's group managing director, Mohammed Najib Ishak, he actually mentioned their 14-year partnership. 14 years. And he talked about the robust operational infrastructure they've built to meet DHL's needs, especially for time-sensitive deliveries.
Wow, 14 years is solid. Speaks volumes about trust and reliability, especially in cargo where timing is everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Najib also pointed out something else interesting. This route helps position Penang to grow as a major air cargo hub.
Because of the industries there.
Yeah, exactly. Penang has a lot of high-end manufacturing, tech companies, that sort of thing. Having this direct, reliable cargo link makes it much easier and more attractive for them to ship goods globally.
So it's not just about the airline and DHL, it potentially boosts the whole region's economy.
Potentially, yes.
Mm.
It shows how good air cargo connections can really fuel regional development and competitiveness. It's that infrastructure piece.
And he gave a shout out to the airport authority too, MAHB Malaysia Airport Holdings Berhad,
Yep, and specifically Dato Mode Izanigani, the MD there.
saying they provided operation critical arrangements. Sounds like getting the airport side sorted was key.
Oh, definitely. Launching any new international route, especially cargo, needs huge coordination slots, ground handling, customs. MAHB's support was likely essential to get things running smoothly from day one.
Right. It highlights that behind-the-scenes work that makes these routes possible.
Absolutely. The airport authorities are often unsung heroes in enabling trade and logistics growth.
Okay, great. Let's shift to our final piece now. Vista, the business aviation company. They've secured a massive equity investment, $600 million. That's a serious amount of money.
It really is. A huge figure. They've signed a definitive agreement for this $600 million equity boost. It's coming from a group of investors, but the lead is RRJ Capital, which is a major Asian investment firm.
Interesting that it's an Asian firm leading. And what's the money for? Expansion. Buying more jets.
Well, the stated goals are actually more financial strategy focused. They want to use it to optimize their capital structure, basically improve their balance sheet, also enhance free cash flow generation, and importantly, pay down debt.
Ah, so it's more about strengthening the financial foundations than, say, immediate growth.
That seems to be the primary aim, yeah.
Hmm.
It lines up with what Vista themselves said about wanting to accelerate deleveraging, cutting down their debt load, and also diversifying who their investors are.
Why is diversifying investors important for them now?
Well, a few reasons. It can bring in fresh perspectives, different kinds of expertise, maybe new networks, particularly with a firm like RRJ Capital, based in Asia.
Right, access to different markets or insights.
Exactly. It can also make them less reliant on any single investor group, which adds financial resilience and, just generally boost their credibility in the market.
Yeah.
Having a big Asian player like RRJ leading the investment is a strong vote of confidence, especially in Vista's global model and potential in Asia itself.
Makes sense. Thomas Floor, Vista's founder and chairman, he called it a strong endorsement of their strategy and vision. Sounds like he's obviously pleased.
Very pleased, yeah. He welcomed RRJ Capital as a partner for future growth. And on the flip side, Richard Ong from RRJ Capital expressed his pleasure, specifically mentioning Vista's industry innovation and global presence.
So RRJ clearly likes Vista's tech edge and their worldwide reach.
Seems that way. Those are the key things they highlighted. Suggests they see Vista not just as stable, but as a leader with more room to grow.
And it's not just RRJ, right? The article mentioned Andalusian Private Capital and others joining in.
That's right, a consortium. So they're joining existing shareholders like Roan Group. It creates quite a broad base of financial backing now.
What's the benefit of having such a mix of investors on board?
Well, potentially, you get a wider pool of experience and connections. Different firms might have strengths in different regions or sectors, which could be really valuable for a global company like Vista. And the fact the deal was expected to close pretty quickly by the end of March this year suggests everyone was pretty aligned and eager to get it done.
Yeah, indicates strong momentum and confidence all around.
Definitely.
Okay, so looking at all three, THAI upgrading passenger jets, Raya expanding cargo routes with DHL, and Vista getting this huge financial boost for business aviation. It's quite a varied picture of what's happening in Asian aviation.
It really is. They seem like separate stories, but taken together, they show investment and strategic moves happening right across the board: commercial passenger, cargo logistics, and high-end business travel. It suggests a pretty dynamic and evolving market over there.
Yeah, responding to different pressures and opportunities. So as we wrap up, we've seen THAI focusing on the passenger journey, Raya boosting cargo flow, Vista strengthening its financial muscle. How might these different threads, I don't know, connect or influence each other going forward in the Asian market? It feels like they're all pieces of a bigger aviation ecosystem.
That's really the question to ponder, isn't it? You've got this push for premium comfort alongside a need for super efficient cargo and a well-funded business jet sector. Could we see maybe higher expectations from premium passengers influencing business jet choices? Or perhaps even more synergy between, say, business aviation and moving really high-value urgent cargo? It's a complex picture, but these developments certainly give us a lot to think about regarding where Asian aviation might fly next.